Here is a Panasonic fan. This is an oscillating fan, and this is an odd one. I have never seen another quite like this before. I don't know exactly how old this is. The plug is non-polarized, but the molded part is of the more modern styling, so I don't think this is particularly old. But then the guard space is so thin that your fingers can go right through it, so that would lead me to believe that it's an earlier model. So I don't know. It's in very nice condition, especially the badge here has all of its luster to it still. Very flashy and shiny. It's kind of surprising that it's still nice because it is only plastic. The blade is in good condition. No paint splatter, which seems to be a running issue with these translucent blade fans, which is not a problem with the fan itself, but more so a problem with the way people use them before they get thrown out. So this is a Panacycle fan, with the model number being F-1285A. Here's the informations. It is an AC desk fan. It's rated for 0.38 amps, and it says made in Japan. So it's probably a very good quality. Matsushita Electric, or I guess that I'm pronouncing that wrong. Matsushita, I think is what it's really supposed to be. I'm not entirely sure. But generally speaking, Panasonic has a pretty good reputation. And it's one of those brands that just about any product it makes generally doesn't stink. And I suspect this, especially having been made in Japan, is a very good product. It's bizarre to me. The whole base design is bizarre. I actually it looks to me like it's backwards, because using the control like that is going to be very difficult. It's a 3-speed model with a rotary switch, which feels like it's in good condition. And it says, just messed up my camera. It says circulator, STD oscillation, which is a little concerning. And it says circulator, and then it says oscillating hassock. Now, I don't know what any of that is talking about. I'm guessing that this whole unit here rotates. Okay. So that is true, it is rotating. It seems to have 3 positions in between each dot. Okay, so this is the way that would make the most sense to use it to me. But see, now it doesn't tilt down enough. It only goes down to there, and it goes all the way back to there. So I guess that's hassock mode. I'm really not sure what the utility of the oscillation would be in this kind of angle. Or what the utility of the oscillation would be like in this angle. Now when it's all the way down like this, it doesn't really tilt up tall enough to me. Like, it goes all the way down and then it stops there. which is just slightly above level, or it might actually be level. So this is kind of weird in the sense that you have to keep turning this around in order to get the exact height that you want, and then the oscillation is just all cockamamie in all these different positions. This is a very, very strange product. I guess we'll just leave it like that for now with the switch in the back. We are testing with 118.4 the volts. The voltage is pretty much normal right now because no air conditioner is on, at least not in my house. It might be on in other people's houses. Alright, so let's see how this operates. I suspect very quiet and very powerful performance. We'll start it off on number 1. I don't know if that's high or low. Well, that is indeed very quiet. It's almost inaudible. It's spinning very slow, but it's pushing a very good amount of air for what it's doing. I can feel it all the way across the room. It's not very strong across the room, but it's noticeable. Really can't hear it though. That's really impressive. This will be a great bedroom fan. It's not bad airflow, especially for that noise. So that is 0.29 amps, 34 the watts, the power factor of 1 on the nose. I don't think so that we would be getting that kind of power factor if the capacitor was spoiled. This was given to me by the letter H, and the letter H suggested that maybe the capacitor is failing because the low speed is so slow. And we could still open it up and check it, but most likely if the capacitor was in a drifted state, the power factor would not be that high. I mean, it's rare to see a power factor of actual 1 in a motor like this. So I really don't think there's anything wrong with the capacitor in this particular case. So let's see what this STD oscillation looks like. You know, it's really pushing quite a bit of air considering how slow it's running. That is unbelievably quiet. I think this is the quietest 12-inch oscillating fan I've ever used. And that's a survey across, including other Japanese models like Sanyo, which is, in my opinion, probably the best. Some like dried out plastic vibrations here going on. Looks like the plastic is not in the best of shape. There's a little bit of the chalkiness starting to surface on the back. This has obviously been sitting in the sun for quite some time. This was probably stark white when it was new. Is this supposed to have yeah, these feet are rock hard. It probably should have had rubber feet on the bottom at some point. Alright, let's try the 2. That wasn't as much of a jump in speed as I would have expected. See, the blade pitch is pretty serious. I do think this is a little bit more than the typical Lasco Galaxy models. On the medium, it is consuming 0.33 amps. This is one boring video, isn't it? 39 watts with a power factor of 1. Actually, I don't think this is boring at all. I'm just tired. It's moving some pretty good air now, and it's still very quiet. Let's see how it performs on the high. That was a decent jump in performance, but still not quite what I would have expected. That's consuming 0.39 the amps, 46 the watts with a power factor of 0.99. So being rated for 0.38 and drawing 0.39 with a power factor of 1 would lead me to believe that the capacitor is in perfect condition. That's actually pretty strong. The lack of noise is deceiving. I don't think that this is a slouch in performance at all. I'm not sure that it's quite as strong as some of the other ones. But the trade-off here is the noise level. This is much quieter. I've got a good breeze here across the room, but I don't think it's quite as strong as some other ones. But in a lot of cases, I would take this over the other ones just because it's quieter. I mean, there's some of the Lasco Galaxy ones are this loud on low. This is unbelievably quiet. I have to say the Japanese really know how to make a good product. It's the engineering over there, the manufacturing over there. Something's known over there that we haven't figured out over here, because even back in the day, I think some of the older Japanese stuff was still better, even when made in USA meant something. Even the balance is correct. I can feel it's not 100%, but it's well within a reasonable margin of error. That's really throwing the air out. Oh, I think this thing will definitely be living in the bedroom for sure. I like a nice quiet fan in the bedroom. Or it might live in the kitchen because it's very low profile in terms of height, so it might fit under the counter. I mean, not under the counter, on the counter, under the cabinets. The oscillation is nice and slow. That's the way I like it, so the air has time to travel. Wow, that feels such good quality. It just disengages like it's nothing. Look at this. That's a quality gearbox. A lot of them you gotta really fight with them and get them up. This just, nope, goes right off. That's nice. This is definitely a top of the line unit. It doesn't seem like it's pushing the air as far as some other ones do. Unless maybe it's just because the room is small, I don't know. But wow, that sure is quiet. That is definitely the quietest 12-inch oscillating fan I've tested. Absolutely is. If it wasn't for that hum, which we can probably get rid of with new feet, this is just about inaudible. That's unbelievable. This is 100% going to go in a bedroom. This would be perfect for a nice warm summer night. because it won't drown out the sound of the crickets and the frogs and stuff that I like to hear in the yard. Wow, that is so quiet. There's nothing like a top quality made in Japan product. It really, I think, is some of the best in the world.